Hi, welcome to this week's half an hour session. So, today we're going to be looking at releasing the hips. So, we're going to be working with lengthening the legs up the wall, which is for some a very comfortable position, but can be challenging for some people who have lower spine issues. So this can be alleviated by having an extra layer of blanket underneath the back. It's a very good idea to have at least one blanket on top of your mat, but you may want to put another blanket if the lower part of your spine is feeling a little bit sore. For some people, this position isn't comfortable, so don't worry if this one's not for you. It can be quite individual whether this works or not. And for students that are over 60, it can be one that you just have to see whether it's for you or not. I do this position with some of my older students and it's fine, but you just have to see how it is for you, whether or not it works. Okay, so I'm going to get into position now. So we're just going to start off to the side of the mat. Just with the legs out to the side. And then we're going to just lengthen down with the arm. And then lengthening up the wall with the feet. And bringing the arms out to the side. And flexing the feet. Bringing the chin into the chest. And then we're going to open the legs out to the side and drop the centre of the spine into the mat. And just allowing the palms of the hands to face the ceiling. So bringing the chin into the chest and breathing into the lower belly. Allowing the mind to relax and being with each individual breath. And if a thought comes up, just allowing it to pass and coming back to the breath in the lower belly. And now we're going to allow the breath to travel up to the midriff area. So from the lower belly and then coming up to the midriff. And exhaling down to the lower belly. And then we're going to come up to the centre of the chest area. So breathing from the lower belly up to the midriff and then up to the centre of the chest. And then gently exhaling down the front body to the lower belly. feeling the breath moving in a wave up the front body. And if it's feeling slightly strong for you, being in a wide stance, you can just bring the legs in a little bit. Or if it's feeling uncomfortable having the legs wide, you can just bring them together, just so that the legs are dropping into the top of the femur heads and into the hip sockets. But for those who are feeling comfortable in the wide stance, you can just stay there for a little bit longer. And now allowing the breath to move all the way up to the upper chest area and out to the tips of the shoulders. And as the breath grows up the front body, have this sense of the breath moving along each arm and out to the fingertips. And then exhaling down the front body and into the lower belly. And now we're going to bend the knees and just bringing the soles of the feet together and gently rocking the knees from side to side. And then coming back to the center with the knees, bringing the chin into the chest. And breathing all the way up the front body and then along the arms out to the fingertips. And now bringing the awareness into the back body and breathing up from the tailbone. So we're going to visualize the breath growing up the spine in a spiral, spiraling all the way up to the base of the skull. And then gently exhaling down the front and the back body, down to the tailbone. And repeat in your own time the breath travelling up the spine to the base of the skull. And then exhaling down the spine to the tailbone. And now bringing the awareness into the side ribs, inhaling into the side ribs, feeling the expansion in the side ribs as you inhale, and then exhaling, feeling the side ribs recede. And now lengthening the legs up the wall and flexing the feet, spreading the toes, and just having a sense of the top of the femur heads dropping into the hips. Bringing the awareness into the soles of the feet. Breathing up from the center of the sole of each foot and allowing the breath to travel up the length of the legs and then up through the center of the trunk, the neck to the top of the head. And then exhaling down the length of the body and through the soles of the feet. And now we're going to gently circle round with the elbows and bringing the arms over the front body into a hug. And breathing into the back body, bringing the chin into the chest. Breathing into the upper back. So breathing in behind the shoulder blades and feeling the space that's being created in the upper back. And now we're going to circle round again. And we're going to allow the opposite arm to come and rest on top. And breathing into the upper back. Circling around again with the elbows as we hold onto the right wrist with the left hand. And we circle up and back, rotating the right wrist, sending a ripple up the right arm to the right shoulder joint, and coming up over the head and allowing the arms to rest over the head, and then bringing the legs into a wide stance again. Bringing the chin into the chest, dropping the back of the shoulders into the mat. Breathing from the lower belly into the side ribs, into the upper chest area. And exhaling down the front body into the lower belly. And now spiraling up and back again, rotating the right wrist with the left hand as we come up over the front body. And we're going to hold on to the left wrist with the right hand. And sending a ripple up the left arm up to the left shoulder joint. And then bringing the arms over the head to rest above the head, bring the chin into the chest. and dropping the back of the shoulders into the mat and flexing the feet and just checking that the back of the buttocks are just touching the base of the wall. As we breathe up from the lower belly into the side ribs and up to the upper chest area. And exhaling down the front body to the lower belly. And this is a wonderful position for opening the chest area, lengthening the spine right from the tailbone, travelling all the way up the spine to the base of the skull. You can really feel every part of the spine connecting with the mat. So it's a deeply releasing and energizing position for opening the chest area and lengthening the spine. So breathing from the lower belly to the side ribs, to the upper chest, to the shoulders, and inhaling all the way up the arms to the fingertips as the shoulders drop into the back of the mat. And then gently bending the knees, take care of the inner knee joints. And again in this position, do observe how your legs are feeling. If they're feeling a little bit tight with the inner thigh muscles, then do just bring them in a little bit. Or if you find the wide stance is a little bit challenging, then you can stay with the legs together in that position. So now we're going to spiral up and back, rotating the left wrist with the right hand as we come up over the front body, and then bringing the soles of the feet to the wall and holding on to the back of the thighs. And now as we exhale, bring the knees into the belly. And as we inhale, slightly releasing the knees. And as we exhale, bringing the knees into the belly. Gently rocking from side to side. As we come over to rest on the right hand side, just with the soles of the feet touching the wall. And then we're going to stroke along the inside of the right arm across the chest area out to the left side. And just breathing out to the fingertips. And just allowing that left shoulder to drop into the mat. And then we're going to unfurl the left arm, rolling back round with the head and stroking across the top of the chest, the inside of the right arm and back to the right hand. And then placing the hands underneath the right side of the head, breathing into the side ribs. And then we're going to roll over onto the other side and just bringing the right hand over And we're going to stroke along the inside of the left arm, coming across the top of the chest area and lengthening out to the right as the head rolls round. And breathing out to the fingertips. Just allowing the right shoulder to drop into the mat. And then unfurling the right arm and coming across the top of the chest, the inside of the left arm, and back to the left hand. And then we're going to place the hands underneath the left side of the head. And breathing into the side ribs. And now rolling back onto the back body and just bringing the feet together, the soles of the feet, the knees dropping out to the side, and just rocking from side to side. Breathing into the upper chest area. And now we're going to just lengthen up the wall with the right leg, flexing the right foot. And we're going to see how it feels to drop the left knee into the wall, with the front of the left foot resting, the front of the left foot, resting on the wall. And then we're going to circle round by cradling the right leg. So start off with just rotating the right toes and then circling around with the right ankle, circling back the other way. And then we're going to circle round with the whole of the right leg, just opening that right hip. And it's very helpful having the wall to rest the front of the lower left leg and the front of the left foot. But don't worry if this is uncomfortable for you. It may be that the position you're in is about there, and that's fine, or even like that. So wherever it feels comfy for you. So just dropping that knee out to the side as much as it wants to go. So we're circling around in one direction and then we're circling around in the other direction. And now we're going to bring the right foot to the front of the left thigh. And so for many people, this will be quite far enough. So this is preparation for lotus position using the wall as a support. And it does deeply get into the lower part of the spine as well. So just listen to the lower part of the spine and how that feels. And then if you're quite a bendy person or you're used to doing the lotus position, you can just bring the left foot over, but do listen to your body and then massaging the soles of the feet. And with all these positions, you never go further than your body wants to go. So you never push your body into a position. It's always about listening, nurturing, and being with where your body is comfortable to be. So just massaging the soles of the feet, massaging out through the toes, and then dropping the knees towards the wall. And sometimes being in these positions can bring up cramp in the feet or the lower leg. But it's very nice just massaging the soles of the feet in this position. And then massaging through to the toes. And then we're just going to lengthen out with the arms and just breathing into it. And it feels very nice having the legs up against the wall like this. And then we're just going to gently release the left foot. So support the right ankle as you release the left leg, and then lengthening up the wall with the left leg. And just give you a little massage to the toes and the soles of the feet of the the right foot, as you lengthen up with the right leg. And then we're just going to massage the outer thighs. And now we're going to bring the right leg into the wall and dropping the right knee down towards the wall. And just breathing into it there. And now we're going to open out with the left leg, cradling the left leg. So you're bringing the left arm inside the left leg as the knee is bent. And just doing a little circling with the toes. And then we're going to circle round with the ankle, circling in the other direction. And then we're going to circle round with the left leg. And then we're going to circle in the other direction. Just opening that left hip joint. And now we're going to bring the left foot to the front of the right thigh and dropping the knee down to the side. And again, it's listening to where it's comfy for you. And just massaging the sole of the left foot. And then this position may be quite far enough for people. But then if you're feeling nice and open, then there's the option of bringing the other leg over. And then just massaging the soles of the feet. Because sometimes this can bring up a bit of cramp in the feet. So you could just gently come out of it if it's bringing up cramp. So just massaging the soles of the feet. So just sort of dropping into the position, and you can just sort of fiddle about with it a little bit so that it's comfy for you. And then dropping the knees into the wall and opening the arms out to the side. And breathing from the lower belly into the side ribs, into the upper chest. And breathing along the arms out to the fingertips. And then exhaling down the front body to the lower belly. And now we're going to release the right leg, lengthening up the wall. We're releasing the left leg, lengthening up the wall. And again, massaging the outer thighs. And then we're going to come into the wide stance and opening out with the arms. And we're going to breathe into the whole of the trunk area, the front body, the back body, the side body. And just going into a deeply relaxed space. Just allowing the mind to rest. And allowing the body to rest. And then gently bending the knees and holding onto the back of the thighs as we rock from side to side. And then coming to rest on the side body in the fetus position, just with the soles of the feet on the wall and the hands underneath the side of the head. So this is a very deep opening for the back body and for the hips. So it's very beneficial for opening the hip joints, for lengthening the spine, and for opening the chest area, releasing the shoulders. And so this whole section that we've just done is also used as a preparation for shoulder stand. So that will be a session that we will do where we're spending longer looking at inverted poses such as shoulder stand and preparation for headstand. But again, with all these positions, there is stages as you go along. So the first stage is always a very attainable stage. So there's a lovely sense of journey, and that we never go to a stage in a pose before the student is ready to go there. So with things like the shoulder stand, when you're lengthening the legs up the wall, there's a whole process of going into shoulder stand before we actually do it. So this is a lovely introduction to the legs up the wall, and it's a really nice one to do if you've had a particularly busy day and you just want to really go into a deep space of relaxation and release. Then half an hour of doing this with the legs up the wall is a really lovely way to deeply relax and deeply release. So I hope you've enjoyed this just over half an hour session. All the sessions will be roundabout. So if I say it's a half an hour session, it may run to 35 minutes. The same with the hour and a half sessions. So the hour and a half sessions may be an hour 35 because of the nature of this yoga, which is very much going into a deep process and a deep sense of inner inquiry which has its own sort of time span, and I like to feel that things have really rounded up nicely. So it's the sort of yoga that can never be rushed. Not that any yoga really should be rushed, because it's all about being present, being focused, and really tuning in to yourself and your inner journey, being present with the breath and just listening to your inner rhythms. So I hope you've enjoyed this half an hour session, and have a lovely rest of your day. And I look forward to our next session together. Okay, see you soon.